Hi, you guys. You're at 1124 Design. We're going to be doing a number of these types of videos. It'll show you how we create advertising campaigns for feature films like we've done in the past for a number of Spike Lee films and George Lucas and Steven Spielberg and going on and on. So anyway, what you're seeing right now on the screen in the far left, when we're doing a film, this was the Black Panther, the first version, the one that just came out that made billions of dollars. What we did is we read the script. What happened is Disney gave us the script. We read it on our computer. We had about maybe 1 day to read it. So we had to read it very quickly, and I had to take notes. So it was a beautiful script. When I read it, the first thing that came to my mind was this is going to be a black Star Wars. And and I meant that. I mean, it was just a very luscious, beautiful story. They had sent us over some images that were going to, that the sets were going to look like. Well, my good friend Ruth Carter, who won the Oscar for the Black Panther, did a beautiful job on all the work. So anyway, what you're seeing on the left-hand side, I'm going to take you through all the steps. These are some sketches that we did that helped us to develop what the key art campaign is going to look like. And the key art campaign for a film is kind of like you got 90 minutes or so to tell a story with one image. And that was my goal here. I did a lot of research on the Black Panther from Marvel in the previous years, because Black Panther's been coming out since the 80s and the 90s and the 70s. And so I felt what I wanted to do was to create a situation where we photograph the Black Panther image, but I wanted to kind of capture some of the lush, beautiful designs that were done by Jack Kirby and that were done by Stan Lee and his team. And so as I read the script, I wanted to come up with something where he was powerful and it like showed, the history of the Black Panther. Now, when I was talking with the creative director over at Disney, he told me to come up with ideas with the mask on. And I was going to do some ideas with the mask off, but when the client told me to do them with the mask on, that's what I did. So what you're going to see here, these are drawings. My illustrator, Arville Jones, who did these drawings, and we came up with these beautiful ideas on how to make the Panther. I want to make him vicious, but vicious toward her, helping Wakanda, to help the success of the country. I wanted him to look like a superhero that he is. But I did want to take advantage of the fact that, in his clothing, he has these small little fangs on his hands. And I wanted to take the accent of what his image was and try to make it a powerful image. And I also wanted an iconic graphic image. So when we photograph him, he looks beautiful. When I say beautiful, I mean like whether he's sideways or profile. My drawings were kind of creating that look. So anyway, right here now on the left-hand side here, you see these are drawings that were done from the movie Black Panther. What I did here, you'll see as I roll down. Here's another image. This was a scene in the movie when, in the beginning, he was leaving the film. The actual ship, the spaceship he was in, was exploding. And he was coming out of it because he was going to attack some people that were trying to attack his plane. So I did an idea like this. This is another sketch. This other sketch is of the Panther, and he's kind of coming at us. Here again, if you can see, his legs are kind of moving and his arms are coming at us. I mean, this is kind of a Jack Kirby feel that you would get from some of the Black Panther comic books. So I was trying to, even though we were going to shoot a live action photograph of the Black Panther, I wanted to get some animated kind of looks of his legs and his hands so that it would make him look more superhero-ish. The next version, here's a beautiful image of him profile. Now, in the script, there was a scene when there was a waterfall that was part of the film, and a lot of the tribal ceremonies happened around the waterfall. So I wanted to have Black Panther posing in a profile image with his hands, his legs down, his hand up in profile, and then we see the beautiful Wakanda waterfalls and part of the Wakanda city in the background. Another version I have here is of the Black Panther standing just outside the city of Wakanda. And again, he's in a very posed image. He looks, like he's looking, he's protecting the image. I was also trying to make sure that he had a look of since he's the king of Wakanda, that I want to make it look like he is at his kingdom, and he's in the background. We see his kingdom, and he's the king of this kingdom of Wakanda. So I wanted it to have that look. Again, another more drawing we did of like him coming at you, and I wanted it to be like, so when consumers such as yourself see the film, I wanted it so that it looked like he's really coming at you. So, and then in the background we see Wakanda again. Here's a scene in the movie when the Black Panther was looking at the city of Wakanda when he was in a tree. So you don't see his face, and it's kind of non-profile, but it was a beautiful image, and everybody seemed to like it. The next image was him again in the tree, and he was searching around. In the background we have Wakanda, but here again, he was a very animated character, so he was able to go up trees or go up large-scale buildings very quickly, because he had the superpowers that he got from the powers he got from the resources in Wakanda. Again, here, this is a scene. I didn't want to show too many images like this, but this is the scene when he was fighting the other gentleman that was, at the time, that was Michael B. Jordan, who was the other Black Panther. But we didn't do this image or show this image because we didn't want to tell too much of the story in the key art. Again, here's Black Panther again, and he's like coming at us with his hands out, very powerful, and he's in his throne room, and then we see behind him is the Wakanda city. So it's a very beautiful drawing. Here's another drawing of him outside. Again, he's in an aggressive mode where his legs are kind of bent and his hands are down. I was trying to make it so that he's in an attacking mode. Not that he wants to attack you, and I had to be careful of that because I didn't want him to look like he's attacking consumers. I wanted it to look like he's coming at you to protect Wakanda and to protect you. So this is a little bit aggressive, and I'm not sure, I wasn't crazy about this hand situation here. But this is another drawing. Again, this was him coming out of the sky when the spaceship had exploded, and we see the Black Panther, coming at us, in full force. It's a beautiful image, a very good drawing, with explosion in the back. Again, these are pencil sketches that were drawn so that when I gave these back to Disney and Marvel, they hired a photographer that photographed my images, and then they came back to me with the actual photo images, and then I was able to actually put them together, and I'll show that to you in my next series. Here is Black Panther in his kingdom in Wakanda. Now I had him like really close up. There was an image of him further back where he looked smaller, and then they had the bigger room of the Wakanda where his kingdom was. But I felt that we need to be closer in on his throne and see more of him. Again, I was trying to show the detail of the wardrobe that was created for the Black Panther. So, and then in the background are some of the people, a part of his esteemed royal group, and they're looking on at him. Again, it's another panther, him outside on a mountaintop. And again, this has a very animated look with their hand reaching out to the sky and the legs bent. This again is kind of a Jack Kirby, Stan Lee feel that I got from the comics. I'm not trying to copy the comics, but I was trying to give it some animation to give it a more exciting look. And then in the background, you can see the city of Wakanda. Again, here's another more aggressive approach. I think now that I look at these, I think that maybe I should have not focused too much on the fingernails, because even though they were sharp, I didn't want people to think too much that Panther's out to kill people. And in the movie, his job was to take care of Wakanda and the resources that the country was contributing to the world. Since his dad got killed in the previous Avengers, he was protecting Wakanda and what it was going to be. So I'm not really crazy about this particular image here. Here again, it's another beautiful image with the hand coming. I want to do one with the hand directly into the camera, and then it's a tight crop on his face. So I want a very powerful image. So I like this image, and you'll see this as we go forward. Again, here's a very powerful image of the Black Panther with his arms folded, his legs spread, to show how powerful he is, and how, and then in the background a beautiful, colorful sky from Wakanda with the parts of the buildings of Wakanda in the background. I think it's a beautiful drawing. Again, there's another beautiful drawing we did with the waterfalls in the background, and then I created all the characters in the film were behind him, and his hands were like raising up to the sky, to God, more or less. And then had a beautiful sky with blues and purples and yellows and oranges to give a kind of a glorious effect to. And in the background we have the waterfalls falling down, and then you see on the very top there, those were they looked like surfboards, but they were really kind of plaques that they created. They had kind of a African essence to it, that were lined on the top of the waterfall. And then in the background we see his mother, his family members, his sisters, because women were a very powerful part of this film. So anyway, I thought this one worked. Here again, another real tight shot drawing of the face of the Black Panther. Where he's, his hands are very tight. I mean, what I did sometimes is when I was creating these images, I would actually pose these images myself, and then I would give them to Arvell, and he would draw them, to give it the feel. But I would kind of fake some of these looks and images, because it was something that you had to create, and I needed something, so I just created something with my hands crossed, and I was just trying to do, like that. So, again, that's a wonderful image. See that? Where we have him kneeling down and we see the waterfall in the background. It looks like he's getting ready to jump on somebody. Cause, in the film, he was fighting in the film against, the people, that were created by Michael B. Jordan, was there to take over the kingdom. He wanted to be the Black Panther. He was fighting against the original Black Panther, Ludwig. So I like this. It's a very beautiful. Again, this kind of has a little bit of a Jack Kirby feel. Here's another one. That's another beautiful drawing of him on top of the mountain looking down, and the camera is down up so we see the sky. And then him on top of some of the rocks that were part of the mountain landscape. So this movie had a lot of beautiful landscaping to it. There were beautiful skies and beautiful rock formations and beautiful buildings. So I was trying to create the beauty of the essence of what God had created in Wakanda, and what Black Panther had created for what he wanted Wakanda to